Party. And now we are on the heels of finding out that yet another person is running for the Republican nomination of President Donald Trump. Yesterday we found out Jeb Bush, today Donald Trump. I say let's bring on more competition. The more the merrier. Let's get this party rolling. Ironically, I seriously doubt that Donald Trump is going to win the nomination over Jeb or anyone else for that matter, but you know, if he can pull the Republican Party together, we will see a brand new Republican Party, I'm sure. But right now, it's so concerned about political correctness that the Republican Party never even entertained Donald Trump's concern about Barack Obama's birth certificate. Remember that could have helped Mitt Romney win the election in the previous 2012 election? Had he just entertained the issue and says, oh, let's open the question up to whether Barack Obama is or is not a U.S. citizen? Well, you cannot have it both ways. You cannot be politically correct and drive the issues forth that are necessary to galvanize Republicans, for that matter, or Democrats, for that matter, over issues like the constitutionality that this country was founded on. Clearly, people are going to have to come together in both parties and understand that Americans are actually in the middle. We want safety and security, but we also don't want our privacy invaded. We don't want to be frisked by TSA officers at the airport.
Oh, that's not...
Oh, that's just a backdrop that's been there the past few days. Sarah's here from a long day she's had. Hello.
I got my teeth cleaned.
Oh, great. They look good. That's super. Yeah, it's nice to have clean teeth. It's a good feeling to... And it prevents plaque from developing, and that keeps your teeth healthy and strong. Taking good care of your teeth is essential.
Yes.
Was it expensive? Well, you have a plan or something they give you. All right, so we found out Donald Trump is running for president, and we are excited to say that none of us can afford any of his hotel rooms.
I'm wearing a... what is it called? Sorry?
It's a sari, yeah.
Yeah.
We tried and found out that most of his hotel rooms cost around $650 a night, and I really don't think I can afford to live the life of a Donald Trump. And I'm wondering how he can afford to finance his own campaign and have all this money and somehow relate to the American people. That's a Hawaiian shirt. That's a cool shirt, too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's just happens to work quite a bit, and she comes in during the show when she can. Today is an early arrival for Sarah. She normally comes in around 7 because she does stuff later at, you know, helping people.
I like to help people.
Yeah. Police officers engage in an hour-long standoff with a garden ornament.
That's hilarious. Is there a fight?
A garden ornament. Really?
Well, I'm glad you're living your life then. 31415.
Yeah, how much property does a man need exactly?
I kind of am on vacation.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's Vaughn vacation. It's your Vaughn vacation.
I'm on vacation.
Your vacation. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to look at. Let's see if there's any pictures. I lack pictures. Police thought they were dealing with a real snake in the grass when it turned they'd been rattled for nothing, and their information was a load of old cobras. Okay, I guess it was just a lawn ornament. Okay, well, I guess that's a story. And then we ran this story just a second ago.
Thank you, Eagle.
A group of people are putting together a bounty on Barack Obama, claiming they want him for crimes. They want a $500,000 bounty on crimes that they say he committed. 2,400 people from the kill list of drone attacks. 25,000 people as a direct result of Libyan attacks. And conspiring to cover up the facts about 9/11. They want answers. Conspiring to cover up the facts related to the alleged Ebola 2014 outbreak, which is another one. It goes on and on.
I have more money in my bank account now than when I first met David.
Yes.
Because David taught me how to save money. The secret is...
yeah.
Spend less than you make.
Yeah.
David taught me that little
Live
trick.
below your means, whatever your means are.
Spend less than you make.
Yeah. Live below your means and you'll always be ahead financially. Okay, I believe that our country needs a lot of anti-corruption officials. Many people who have tried to run on the anti-corruption ticket got killed. Recently in Missouri, a former controller in the state that actually stopped 17 corrupt politicians in Missouri decided to run for governor, and he died. Not only did he die, but his chief finance guy died too. Both of them pulling a gun on their own heads and blowing their heads off. So anybody who challenges corruption in a very corrupt world runs the risk of having been suicided. I don't believe they killed themselves. I believe they were suicided. The media didn't cover this. I know it was on the news in terms of blog news, internet news, but let me give you some specifics right now. I'll take you to that story.
Yeah, good luck. I hope you are debt-free in 21 months or less, Badger Waxer. If you can, spend another $5 a month on top of whatever you're planning to spend to pay down your debt.
Exactly.
So if you can spend another $3 a month or $5 a month, do it.
Okay, this is the man
that's a cup of coffee for some people.
It is, yeah. It's significant savings. This is the guy that decided he wanted to run for governor because he was doing such a good job, and he was going to run as Republican for governor in Missouri. Jefferson City, Missouri auditor Tom Schweich, who had recently launched a political campaign for governor, fatally shot himself in what police described as an apparent suicide minutes after inviting reporters to his suburban St. Louis home for an interview. I don't believe for a second that that was a suicide. And what makes matters worse, his campaign finance guy killed himself as well. Anybody who tries to challenge corruption ends up getting whacked. Okay, anybody who posts promoting Donald Trump or anybody else in the room will be banned from the show. I have worked hard to cultivate an audience and a group of supporters that actually believe that there are very dark forces at play with the two-party system. They're elitists. And they've kept me out of the mainstream media completely. So why would we give these elitists any modicum of amount of time to get free advertising on our venue? Seriously.
We already are helping you by just being here and having a place for you to chat.
Hi, Howie. Nice to see you're in. I cannot help you, no. No, I've found out that it's best not to help people who are unhelpable.
Interesting, Badger.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Howie.
I will say you need to help yourself.
You're saying MK Ultra got you? You've already been brainwashed? Well, that's a tough one, because if you've already been brainwashed, you can't be helped. Yeah. You need an intervention, some sort of a, like deprogramming. Well, if you are completely programmed under the MK Ultra plan, and by the way, that is a true program. The MK Ultra program really did exist and does exist.
Helps people that help themselves.
We're talking about Truth Tuesday today, and it is true. The MK Ultra program was revealed by the government in the early 80s. They actually did Senate subcommittee discussions about how the government, the CIA, was using the secret method of controlling the minds of people to create assassins. You tried to join the Illuminati and they didn't want you. Yet you claim MK Ultra got you. Howie, we don't really want to entertain your discussion. We've got a country that's slipping out of control right now. It's a lot more important than some guy who thinks he's been brainwashed.
Trump? If I weren't your running mate, who would you want to be your running mate?
I said that I was going to reserve judgment for Donald Trump right now, simply because he actually threw the third party word out there.
Nice job, Trump.
He's actually said that if he doesn't get the nomination, he's going to consider opening up his own third party. And I don't want to blow it and call him names at this point, because we all know that there's a huge difference between a person who's got millions and a person like me.
I guess he must be happy. A happy man.
Yes, I can beat Donald Trump for the presidency. I can appeal to Democrats Whereas Donald Trump, he can't appeal to any Democrats. He'll appeal to independents maybe, but not Democrats.
We'll look at it, Paul.
That looks good. I like Sponheim Trump as a possibility. That looks good. Yeah, you're the only one who keeps saying Trump nailed the speech, Eagle. I'm so glad you... Why don't you go have yourself a little personal, time with yourself in the bathroom. Put a picture of Donald above the toilet and just start going for it. Soon you'll be relieved of your excitement and you'll calm down and come down to reality here.
Well, we agree with David.
We're not Freemasons.
Like Freemasons.
I am not in any way a Freemason. I've never joined the Masons. I will never join a secret society. Don't pin that on me, please. I have worked diligently to prevent any secret societies from getting too close to this inner circle of this party. And you're looking at it right here, the two of us.
Yes, David can win the presidency.
Yes, absolutely. I can definitely beat him on all the talking points, for sure. He's got a lot of weaknesses in his dialogue. Basically, he has no real contact with average people. That's a huge liability. Do not click the tiny URL, please. And don't post tiny URLs here because they are oftentimes screen hijackers. Yeah, we're not in any way working with Tekwala at all. I severed relations with him when I found out he was an Illuminati Mason.
I see you, PI, and I think that's an interesting concept. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Saying he's a billionaire and saying he cares about America are two different, entirely opposite ideas. A billionaire cannot possibly know what Americans are going through right now. No connection whatsoever. He has no contact with average people whatsoever.
And we stopped relations with that person, A329.
Once he started telling me about his masonry and he started discussing it almost obsessively.
Hi, the number. Got it.
We stopped that entirely. Great. You're fired. Thank you for coming in, but don't take up any time that you could be spending with your bowels. Yeah, we don't want you to take away from your personal time.
Vote. Is that the secret word?
Now, this man fought for his country. Now he's facing arrest for living off the grid, Sarah. Let me show you what's going on with a lot of the people that are trying to build their own lives. They're running into the nightmare of the mandatory Gestapo state that the Democrats have created. Where you have to, everything's mandatory and the health department has to watch everything you're doing. Well, apparently they said unsafe building, do not occupy, punishable by law. Huntsville, Alabama, Tyler Truitt joined the military to fight for America's freedom. However, after returning, he's quickly realized the supposed freedom that he fought for is a pipe dream. Truitt lives on his own property, but because he's not tied into the city's electricity and utility grid, his very existence has been deemed illegal. Eagle has landed. Trump started out with a tremendous amount of money that he's given from his father. I didn't get the luxury of that. We live out here off the grid, 100% self-sustaining, Truitt said, so it's basically made all my utilities. I have my solar panels, I have my rainwater collection and stuff. Truitt lives on his own property in a modular home. He creates his own electricity and collects his own water from the rain. If anything, this couple is a net gain to the society and to the environment for having a carbon footprint of 0 and living sustainably. Believe me, inheriting a lot of money and becoming wealthy like Donald Trump is no different than many of the other people who've done the same thing. It's just it's pretty easy to make money with money. Hello.
Well, I would say, Scissor Fight, that is in for a constitutional fight.
Yeah, banning using cuss words in public. This is how they're trying to frame. The Democrats are trying to seize control over our rights and our freedoms, and the Republicans are too politically correct to say anything. That's why we've got a president who's been ineffective for 7 years now. And the Republicans can barely get a word in edgewise and are unable to stop him in his tracks. Except on occasion. We see some changes. But I don't like what the Republicans are up to because they've got all the same cronies backing them. Let me show you what we just came into our show tonight. This is a really good little demonstration of what we're dealing with. The two parties, one ideology. Look at the corporations in there.
Yeah.
They're embedded in this picture. They literally control the two parties. It's crazy. I know. I know, Cyber Jedi, there's no reason why people should be told they can't live in a building that's completely off the grid. It's crazy. So our federal government should lead by example and tell the states that you need to back off of anybody who's living off the grid with a zero carbon footprint. I mean, that's exactly where we need to go.
Well, we believe in more online learning opportunities for people, that they could challenge the current regime of higher education.
Right. So we don't want to impose the federal government's will like the Democrats do on the states. But unlike Jeb Bush, who doesn't want to have the federal government develop any content enrichment, we feel that that's wrong too. So what I will do is I will systematically reduce the number of men and women in the Department of Education. And I will simply get the ones that are capable of generating curriculum and free learning facilities and utilities that kids could use, like solar kits and robot kits. These are the things we want to distribute to the states at their discretion to use to educate kids. And definitely less testing. So we're completely, at America's Third Party, we're completely different than the Democrats or the Republicans. We do agree that vouchers are a good way to help stimulate lower education costs and help people who are trying to homeschool their kids. So we will definitely build something in there, in that plan, that will include vouchers. The federal monies that are doled out to states for education could be broken down and doled out directly out to citizens who want to homeschool their kids. That's a better plan than what Jeb Bush put in place in Florida when he left as a former governor. He actually put in place to give all the disabled kids the funding for vouchers. Well, I think we should put emphasis on kids that are doing well, not just disabled kids. And part of our emphasis in education has been to cater to the kids with the biggest disabilities when, ironically, they're never going to reach more than life skills. What we need to do is get the best students the kind of funding they need to move on. And I know a lot of people who, like myself, who've been victimized by affirmative action. Yeah, I think Dallas Police Association is way out of bounds here. We're seeing the growth of police state, Paul. As you know, we're trying to fight that at a local level with a third party. Women's FIFA score? That's right, they only help disability patients, the ones Jeb put in play.
That's an interesting point, Pi.
Not necessarily, but it's not a valid point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, David would say that we don't need the people that are indoctrinated in higher education. We need people that are average Americans to join the government.
Yeah, we don't need just people with higher education to lord over us with from their ivory towers. We saw where that led us. Most of the Democratic leaders in Obama's administration are communist Marxists who got their PhD in Marxism.
They were indoctrinated into the higher education system.
They were part of the Marxist revolution, yeah.
I'm going to take a break in about 15 or so, whenever you're back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, they do rely on experts, but who determines what an expert is nowadays? You know, it's like this system that, oh, if you don't have a piece of paper saying you're an expert, you can't be considered an expert. And, you know, the thing is, we have that access to the internet, so most people can research what they need to find out. and find out almost as much, if not more, than certain experts. Granted, I mean, you do need people that are willing to research and study the law of the land if they're going to be a Supreme Court judge. But I would say also, though, when you're talking about running for any office, you don't necessarily always need someone with a college degree. You have a college degree, DJ Chills in NYC, and you paid for it yourself. Very good. What do I think of global warming? I think, there's a movie, Just Cool It, and we have as much to fear from global cooling as we do from global warming. I don't know about that, Pi. I think that access to the internet could make a competent lawyer. I don't think a lawyer necessarily needs to go through so many years of education. I think a lot of it is on the job training, that you learn a lot by actually doing. That's true, Dr. Meow. A lot of what you read online could be true or could be an elaborate hoax. And okay, so I agree as far as doctors go, that they do need a certain amount of training, but I think that the way that they limit the number of doctors that are allowed into residency programs, I think that creates a false limit on the people that could be doctors, that the potentials to be doctors. That's true, especially someone like you, Caitlin. All right. A California mayor was ordered a raid on a pot shop after accepting a bride from a competing pot shop, and the lawsuit claims that. Interesting. Well, actually, no. I didn't say the statistics say it's cooling. I said that a lot of people have more to fear from cooling because more people die from cold weather than hot weather. However, I will say that it probably is warming. As they said, here's the interesting thing. We are supposed to be heading into an ice age right now, but we're not actually going into an ice age because of global warming. If we were going into an ice age, it would be very, very dangerous for people as a whole. But because it's actually because of global warming in a way, then but the warming supposedly is worse than that. It's gotten to the point where even though we're supposed to be cooling down, we're actually warming up. Glaciers are melting, the oceans are rising. You saw it with your own eyes, especially like the Maldives. The oceans are rising there. Yeah, it happens every several thousand years, but right now it's not happening. So as we continue, when we're supposed to be heading out of an ice age and we continue to rise even further with global warming, that'll be a problem for sure.
Yeah, we're heading into an ice age right now, so it's really nothing to worry about. I have more concern about the chemtrails. Let me tell you what happened this morning, Sarah. I walked up and I went outside and I went into the spa and I got in the spa and I took the flap down and I got a mouthful of pesticides.
Oh wow!
I know what pesticides. Neighbor? No. We've been inundated with chemtrails in our area for the past 2 days. You see them today; they were all over the skies. Past 2 days, they're bringing precipitation into the Northwest to dehydrate California. And they're using this product called chemtrail, which ostensibly is just extremely toxic pesticides that have aluminum and barium, strontium and selenium in them, that is a magical cocktail that attracts water to our area. So they are systematically creating a drought in California. Purposely.
Yeah.
Now, you won't get Donald Trump to talk about chemtrails. You won't get any official candidate to talk about chemtrails. But I guarantee you, more than 30% of the population is aware of them and concerned of them right now. And we are wanting to know why we're being inundated with poison in our atmosphere. You're missing the point, Earl Tron. You can drink whatever you want to help yourself build your immune system, but they are poisoning us. Do you hear me? You had chemtrails in Manchester, yeah. Well, I never gave them the right to experiment with chemical dispersals in my atmosphere. Did you? Were you consulted? Wake up! Your left eye hurts now when you cough. Wow, bummer. Anyway, I couldn't believe it. I had to literally wash the cover of the spa off.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe the layer of pesticides that I knocked off the thing. It was just this massive layer of dark, peppery-like material.
Wow.
It was like pepper all over the place. It was all really toxic. It smells like oil. Okay. It's an oil derivative.
Yeah.
It's a coal and oil derivative they're using. It's unbelievable.
Financing and insurance of waterfront property has become difficult because the oceans are rising. I would understand that. Okay. Thanks, Valoris. It may have been. Sometimes I feel like I would be able to defend myself in law. I already feel like I am a scientist myself, but then again, I did go and I did graduate magna cum laude with my baccalaureate degree. So I understand the advantages of higher education. But then I also see people who are even educated, either the same level of education as me or even more education than myself, and I feel that I have just as much intelligence as they do. So I would say that's my contention. That's what I would say. When teachers indoctrinate students politically, they indoctrinate the future. I am an educator, so I suppose I indoctrinate people. But I purposely avoid certain topics. Okay, thanks, refried bacon. Yeah, I heard about that story, DJ Chills NYC. Oh, you're claiming now you say education isn't indoctrination, even though a few moments ago you were saying that it can be indoctrination? Or are you saying that there's a difference between education and indoctrination? Hi, Eves. Is it? Am I saying that right? Eves Lopez? Or is it Ives? I think it's Eves. Long E or long I? I think we're all people. People are people. Don't listen to Pi. Listen to Insane Clown instead. Okay. Alright. I can go with that. 314. Vessi Ves. Yvette. Yves. Oh. Yvette with an S. Yves. Yves. Ah. I've never heard a name like that. Yves Lopez. Very good. Am I contracting out mods to illegal aliens? No, Yves is Mark's friends. That's why she has that wonderful staff thing by her name. It doesn't say mod. I didn't mod anybody. Did someone ever say you like Eddie Breckel? I don't even know who Eddie Breckel is. Should I look up a picture of him? And do I look like him, or do I like him like, oh, he's beautiful? I don't know who he is, so I don't know if I like him. Oh, she's a singer? Eddie. Let's look up what she looks like. Eddie Breckel. Let's go images. Yeah, I could see the resemblance. Got the same cheekbones. Yeah, nice smile like me. Yeah, definitely. Eddie Breckel and the New Bohemians. Oh, she married Paul Simon? Interesting. Okay, so Valoris, you say the Republicans gave the wait, you're saying in your point of view, education is more formatting to fit a society standard. Oh, Miss Scruffy is here too? Okay. What I am is what you are, and what you are... Is that the song? Oh, yeah. I don't know.
All right, thank you.
Yves is staff. Oh, I like that song. I'll have to... Yves, that's Yves, says I look like Eddie Breckel.
Oh, yeah.
Who married Paul Simon.
Yeah. Eddie Breckel, and then she married Steve Martin later.
And then she married Steve Martin. She likes the humorist, like I like David.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah, David's a comedian. Like,
I saw him live actually at Ackerman Union. He was at Royce Hall in 1978, right when his career was peaking. He was very, very funny. Everyone liked him. I didn't really find him that humorous, but Jody Arias, that's a very nice statement, but thank you, but no thank you. Okay, Paul Simon and his wife Eddie Breckel will not be charged with disorderly conduct, arrested after domestic dispute at the couple's Connecticut home. Okay. You know, in some states, if you have a disorderly conduct charge,
Edie.
You automatically go to jail.
Sorry, Von Trapp. Edie Breckel, not Eddie. Edie.
Yeah. I thought Paul Simon had married a transgender named Eddie. I was confused. Thank you.
Oh man.
Well, why don't you get some rest? You've had a long day, and
oh, that feels so good right there.
Yeah. Eddie Van Halen passed away. Are you serious? Wow. Bummer.
Oh, you want me to look up Jody Arias?
No, she's just that woman who was arrested.
Oh, for whatever.
She killed Travis Alexander, and she apparently did it with a kind of a...
I don't look anything like her.
Yeah.
Besides the fact I have glasses, that's it.
That's it, yeah.
I don't look anything like her. I do look like Edie.
I never studied with a professor named Schrock, no. I never studied any of Shockley either.
I don't have a hula skirt, but I will show you my skirt. It's
That's cool. It's like a sarong?
It's like a sarong. That's my skirt.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Up to David. There we go.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right, Sarah. Thanks
for stopping in.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, hey there. All right, let's get ready to rumble. We've got a lot of things to talk about, especially with this Donald Trump entering the mix. Republicans here are pissed off. There are a lot of Republicans here. Yeah, I do believe there is a guy named Wilson. There is always a professor named Wilson at every university. Wilson's one of those names, it's like Brown. Well, I'm glad about that because I don't want to talk about Donald either. I want to talk about the Republican Party and how they're reeling. They really don't know what to do. No, I've never had any super PAC money, and I've never had any mainstream media attention, not even 1 second. And I've been trying to do this for 7 years. It shows you how powerful the media is at shutting down the average American. No, I'm not a Democrat. No, not at all, Frank. In fact, I started this third party in 2008. I've been doing this for 7 years. In the state of Washington, we have a thing on our ballots as you can prefer Democrat or prefer Republican. And since I was a Democrat for 30 years, I ran under the preference of Democrat only to see what would happen. And I found out how corrupt the Democratic Party really is. Okay. My own party stole my signs, I know. Yeah. That's my point. I'm not a Democrat, dude, so don't lay that label on me. I'm trying to show you people. Thank you, DJ. We can talk about Donald's ignorance if you want, but I'd rather not. Okay, so the cause of death with Andrew Getty turned out to be ulcers, according to the coroner report. I wonder how much his wife paid that coroner to write that. Okay, so a person with $2.3 billion ends up dying from ulcers and meth. Andrew Getty, J. Paul Getty's grandson. There's a more current picture of him. Under the influence of meth, and his habit was bad, he did an 8-ball a day, according to the experts. 2 weeks before, he had taken out a restraining order against his wife. I just don't understand how a guy with $2.3 billion can't afford a doctor to sit by his side going, "Can I help you with your bowel movement?" The power team, you're looking at it, we're right now and we're powerful. It is pathetic. It's not a point of methamphetamines or drugs. It's a point of how can a person with that much money not have a doctor? It goes to his wife, who he was getting a restraining order against. Are you beginning to smell something a little weird in River City? Smells like the Yangtze River, or the most polluted river in the world now. Or maybe the Ganges River, the river where people defecate and drink water from. Something's not right. I smell some corruption somewhere. I think the staff is probably, trying to hang out with Sarah. Yeah, they probably secretly like her. I don't have anything like that, Senor Pond. I'm one of these people that's enormously healthy. Ever since I can remember, I was a kid. I was very sick as a kid, kind of like Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was a very sick baby. Well, when I first was born, my sister had a really bad cold, and she breathed on me purposely. My mother had told her not to breathe on little poor baby Davy. She purposely went right past my mother, violated her wishes, and breathed right on me. And I got cold after cold from there on. Yeah, you're telling me. When you live in a world like that, with a family like that, you get tough real quick. I was an adult by the age of 5. I know. That's correct. Dave loves Sarah. So I can tell you that I battled through a lot of things to get a stronger immune system, and I haven't been sick at all for a long time. Except for the projectile vomiting I got when my sister brought over some old food that she had sitting around the other day. The same sister that sneezed on me as a baby. So the next morning I woke up with projectile vomiting. And she said that there was no chicken in the food. And I said, "Oh, really?" As in she had taken the chicken out and then refrigerated it. And chicken seeds salmonella in food whenever it gets near food, right? Well, I was a little freaked out when I started projectile vomiting. I woke up in the morning and Sarah heard me in the other room and woke up herself because I was like literally retching in the bathroom. Salmonella it's a killer. When you get salmonella poison, it immediately. But it also built up my immune system. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Sarah didn't have any of the food that was compostable. I'm the only one who has a food thing, okay? I am incredibly careful with food. I don't waste food. I use every little bit of it. I'm still eating my Y2K food supply. just because I have a deep, abiding respect for food. Maybe it's because I come from a family of agriculturalists, farmers. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, and even my father worked on a farm when he was growing up. I've got last night I took a $1 Hillshire Farm beef chipotle sausage, one of these loop ones, you know, normally $4.99. I got it for $1, which was expired. Froze it for 2 months, pulled it out of the freezer, and added it to a can of corn from Y2K and a can of just bacon beans, you know, baked beans from Y2K, and put them both together with a lot of fresh oregano, and man, it was great. I've got a chili in there that would, you know, make anybody stand up and go, yeah, that'll grow hair on your chest there. Use chipotle for chipotle. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like chipotle. It's a great, really trendy herb to work with, but you can overdo it too. Sarah does. She loves to eat various food items. I make food all the time. I'm the cook and Sarah's the baker. And I don't know who the candlestick maker is. I think she has a sister who's a candlestick maker. Yeah, I guess my face is glowing. Perhaps it's because I was out in the sun a lot today. I'm constantly doing things, staying busy, you know, making improvements to my property here, shoring up my defenses against oncoming attacks. Have you seen the new underground facility they're building in what was East Germany? Vivo Europa 1 is just an amazing facility. Let me see if I have a copy of it here. Here it is. Vivos Europa 1 is a brand new underground facility. They pulled up an underground bunker from way back that's huge, from Eastern Germany's time. Let me show it to you. People are moving underground. Elitists are moving underground. This is the truth. If they have a lot of money, this is what they do. But these billionaire bunkers are exclusive. You look at the world, inside the world's largest planned doomsday escape. This is pretty interesting stuff. Let me resize it a little bit for you. There we go. Yeah, this is kind of the future. If you've got a lot of money, I'll give you the link to this so you can check it out at your leisure. But yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. This is a Forbes advertisement. And by the way, we are at Third Party. If any of you have yet to follow us on Twitter, please follow us at Twitter. Thank you. Well, there's a lot of people concerned about the planet and how bad it's getting. And many people believe that the radiation from Fukushima necessitates a brand new lifestyle. But let me show you what this is all about. I mean, exclusive images inside the billionaire doomsday bunker. Living quarters. Dining rooms. Can you believe this? This is underground. This facility was built in East German times. Okay. They're doing it in London as well to bring up property prices. Okay. I can't believe it. Yeah, I mean, check it out. There's the founder of Vivos, Robert Vicino. He's negotiated, this is as close as he's gotten to actually getting a bunker up and running now. He negotiated with the people there to pull this off because he's got a lot of plans and designs working in Kansas. But no, this is what the elitists think. 3.1415926353589. Yeah, this is what the elitists think. They believe that somehow they're going to try to make as much money off of this corrupt system that prints up money every day and gives it to them, and then run away with all their money and hide underground while they desecrate the planet above us, or above them. I did see Dr. Strangelove. Great movie. Underground restaurants already developed. Look at this. A very sterile lifestyle, but I mean, there's places where that's a hospital area you were looking at. Remote, out of the way, in Germany. Get to it off the Autobahn. If you got lots of money, they've got a private landing pad for your jet. The bunker is completely bomb-proof, bunker-proof. It's got an above-ground generator too that can power up the units and not pollute the interior of the underground. Isn't that crazy? That's an interior blast door. Yeah, people and their money, you know, and this is the sad truth, is they're that stupid that they just want to desecrate the planet. They don't want to work with the people. They don't want to stimulate American jobs or create American products. You'll notice that none of the TARP 1 or TARP 2 dollars or QE2, QE3 money went to creating American jobs and American products. Do you see that? Here's a working man's doomsday bunker. Okay. Oh, okay. Cyber Jedi keeps showing his remote cabin in the woods of North Carolina on 10 acres. Thanks, Cyber Jedi. At least we know what it looks like. And I have a general idea of the construction of the cabin so I can match it with Google and make sure it, you know, no, I'm just kidding. You're crying? That's so funny, really? Well, it's not funny. It's sick. You shouldn't be crying. It's the most sick thought ever, but this is how they think. They're that out of it. They just believe that the whole world should be theirs, so they want to systematically take out 90% of the population. They are hiding from the oncoming destruction of the world. Won't work. They're contributing to the oncoming destruction of the world. They're the ones that are orchestrating the chemtrails over our skies. They're the ones that are creating the drought in California. This is all man-made. They're the ones putting Hitlery in front of us on a daily basis at Walmart. They're creating this. And it's getting bigger. It's taking over. And pretty soon it'll be everywhere. Yeah. This has all been planned. Oh, no, you're going to, of course, say, what do you mean there's no chemtrails? You're some sort of a whack job, right? You're accusing people of having chemtrails? I mean, seriously. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's one of the truths that I have to bring up every Truth Tuesday. I have to talk about the elephant in the closet, or the chemtrails in the air.
Chemies in the air.
That's about all I can handle of the guy's voice. But yeah, it's serious. They're not making this up. This isn't photoshopped. You know, I believe that Bitcoin is one of the mixed currencies that we're going to be relying on in the future. I think it's tested now. It's been proven to have some efficacy in the economy, but I don't think everything's going to be about Bitcoins, Caitlin. Well, there are a lot of Republicans that'll probably vote for Donald Trump. No question. He won't pull many Democrats. Shiny puffy coat. Okay. All right. Shiny puffy coat wants to talk about anything. The truth. What is it, Shiny? What's going on?
I think those chemtrails are a load of garbage, and you waste your...
We've got a situation on our hands where the elitists have already brainwashed you, Blaze Buddha, to believe that there's limits to growth. Right now, if I were to give every U.S. citizen a piece of property in America, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. This is perfectly normal. Yeah, nothing to worry about there. If I were to give you every single person in America a piece of property, guess how many acres each one of you would have? Any idea? Thank you, DJ Stungy. No, he didn't make my show. 5 acres, Warplebyte. If everybody in America wanted to have a piece of Texas, Texas is so big we'd each get 1 acre. Seriously. Well, nice try with 100, but no, 5 acres, every one of us. There's plenty of land. What we need, though, is a way to get fresh water. Now, unlike the psychotic Satanists that are running the chemtrail plan of polluting the skies, that are trying to destroy our environment and trigger obvious drought in California, we are the exact opposite. We've been orchestrating a plan to save California, and we've been trying to get these ideas out there, like our ocean pipeline project, which you can find out more at oceanpipeline.com. But this is a way of solving problems like the drought in California. We want to have all of these modules across the California coastline, essentially, desalinating water without any fossil fuel burning whatsoever. These things will work on their own using water that's brought into the chamber and desalinated here in the middle. It evaporates on the inside of the chamber and trickles down on the sides. We create freshwater troughs that go to reservoirs. So we will be able to create on a line from, say, Sacramento to Solvang. We will be able to create as much as 250,000 gallons of fresh water a day using this system. Now, these involve a lot of modules linked together, pushing water between each of the modules, and slowly, but not too bad, one module can desalinate up to 10 gallons a day. But these are solutions. Whereas you don't get solutions from the Democrats or Republicans, you just get a lot of promises. Now, I will implement this using the power of renewable energy savings bonds. Projects like these will be financed not with your tax dollars, mind you, like the Democrats want to do, with cap and trade. This will be coming solely from renewable energy savings bonds, which will offer a return on investment for people that want to invest in this type of technology. So that's how we're going to finance these for all of you guys who don't like that. Okay, we've got a problem, folks. Yeah, hi. Hey, let's get started. So all of it could be financed with this technique. All right, so we are telling you how we're going to do it. We're spelling it out. Wow, that's a higher zoom capability. That's a cool link. Thanks, Cyber Jedi. Blogoscoped. This will take you anywhere in the world. Well, that's just one single picture. What am I looking at? Somewhere in the middle of Mecca? So Dave, what would you do with the millions of people who are made to believe they can just breed and get entitlements? We have a plan for them. It is a big problem. We have a plan we call the Baseline Plus plan, where we offer people a place to live, even at the very minimum, it's a tent city. But Baseline Plus is an opportunity for everybody to have at least a place over their head and a bed. And ultimately, we want to provide that baseline. That handles the malingerers, the people that just want to breed and get entitlements, okay? We're not giving them tons of money like we currently are with this plan. But the plus part is where they have to work for it. The baseline is the part we provide a very basic, low-cost electricity, maybe a motel with a kitchenette in it for people that are currently getting Section 8 voucher money. We don't give them a real easy time sucking off the government tit. Well, frankly, we've got a guy who's a money-minded guy who's in the very inner core of money management, and at the very kernel is the Federal Reserve. I seriously doubt that Donald Trump will talk about ending the Fed. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the last thing he's ever going to do is say end the Fed. Whereas that's front row center in our campaign to end the Fed. Plus, I really don't know if he's going to bring the troops home, which I also put here on a title so you can look at it. All right? Bring our troops home and end the Federal Reserve. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump will do neither. All right? And you can run that same benchmark test against almost everybody on the Democratic ticket and Republican ticket. Since there's only one person on the Democratic ticket besides Bernie Sanders, the known socialist, I think that's a good start. So this is where we're different from the other two parties, clearly. We also want to legalize marijuana, and I seriously doubt that Donald Trump wants to legalize Mary Jane. Happy to be back. Happy to have you. Who are you? Are you a person, place, or thing? Let's do 20 questions. Are you a thing? Hey, Greg. Yeah, so this is my goal, to kind of clarify how a third party is necessary here. And tonight, the truth really comes down to, what do we offer that they don't? And clearly, legalization of marijuana across the board for all recreational use will clearly trump their little game plan to profit on medical marijuana only. So very few candidates, except for myself, want to legalize pot across the board. Right. corporate welfare is drawing more money per capita. You're right. 50% more on corporate welfare than it did on food stamps and housing assistance in 2006. Good point, Upstate. So that's why I'm not abandoning the people who are malingering with my baseline plus idea. But it's clearly a way out for a lot of people who right now are homeless. The homeless population in America is pushing 4 million now. Twice as many people are homeless than under Bush, which shows you how ineffective the Democrats have been for so long. Hello, Waffles. Glad to see you're back. So this plan, Baseline Plus, is what we have in our book, and we talk about how basic minimums are necessary to keep people basically happy, but not to the point where they're, living in luxury and thinking they can just scam Uncle Sam. Well, the reality is we did more than that, Zoni. We have actually spent 7 years spreading the word about a third party and defying the logic of the mainstream media players that are using censorship to knock us out. Because we're up against censorship and the powerful moneyed elite, and the fact that our political system is driven by money, the fact that we're even here broadcasting a signal and getting our ideas out there on multiple channels is a very big plus for us. So don't think for a second we aren't, happy about the fact that we've etched our way through this almost a labyrinth of censorship techniques that they're using. My hit counters on YouTube have been shut down for the past 3 years. I've had mainstream media stories filmed in front of my house that I'm not going to be able to actually see on TV because they refuse to play it on Cairo TV in Seattle. They've got all kinds of techniques they're using to keep me censored and other people in the third-party realm censored. Our country is completely controlled by corporate elitists, and they are using their power to manipulate everything, including the message you guys normally get on your mainstream media attention. If you have cable TV, you're watching the news. Well, your grandpa is probably already brain dead, and there's nothing we can do to help bring him back to life. Yeah, he's probably already gone. I mean, he's probably going to vote for Hillary. Who knows? I mean, there's no telling how completely gone the Democrats are for the most part because they've never questioned the terrible behavior of Barack Obama. They've never given him the scrutiny, and they've never even questioned Hillary about the key issues about her failures in Benghazi. Not to mention her mistakes prior when she was in the board of directors of the Lafarge Corporation that oversaw the sale of chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein. And that has never seen the light of the mainstream media, what I just told you. On the board of directors of the Lafarge Corporation, she actually oversaw the sale of the weapons used to kill 230-some-odd-thousand Kurds. Yeah. I kid you not. So have any of you decided which Trump hotel you'd like to spend your night in? I'm going to say Vegas. Yeah, it would be nice to spend $600 a night. That'd be special, wouldn't it? Who the hell can afford to stay in his hotels? How does he even get people in those hotels? Well, that can only be answered with music. I agree. Music time. Thank you very much. Let's do it. So we've got a lot of rich, moneyed interests controlling politics right now. I'll tell you. Big spenders buying political power. Isn't she brain dead still? I think she's still in a coma, isn't she? Well, we've got the new one from Scissor Fight. But now I'm going to bridge over and do a little split to the next one. Let me see if I can get the beat. This is Chill Out, She.
Mr. President, it is a new world order. President Obama will do the bidding of the world corporate elitists.
It's kind of a mellow piece you got here. Whoa, that's like Sade. Sounds just like her. I like that funk. Mobile medical units. Innovative solutions to save the earth. That's what we want to do. Building American jobs with making built-to-last American products. It's funny, you went for 3-minute songs, and I was thinking I should shorten mine to 2-minute songs. Great music.
No matter what they say, nothing brings me down. I don't know, it's no time.
And God's eternal judgment.
Oh, I got it, Chemtrail Cowboy. I'll play your song next. Very catchy. I'm adding the eternal cauldron of liquid fire in hell.
And God's eternal judgment.
I'll cue it up for you, Chemtrail Cowboy. Alright, this is very cool, man. Got a really rich, full sound. Kind of like a... reminds me a little of Robbie Shanker. You know, the father of Nora Jones. One of the original all-time cool jazz players in world history. I got a really cool one from Lurch. Check this out. Okay, that was awesome, man. Thank you so much. Chill Out. For good. Chill Out, She. Okay, this is a rare caption of Lurch doing a dance little thing in the 60s.